In the previous video, we created a stored procedure called add server entry. Now what we need to do is we need to execute this procedure from our web API. So in order to do that, I'm going to make a test function inside of our server data class. Just do public void test. And then I made a little list here of things we need to do. So first thing is we need to include MySQL client. But the problem is if we do using MySQL, nothing comes up. What we need to do is click on our project, right click, add reference, click assemblies and type SQL. And here you will see mysql.data. Check it, press OK. Then we can do using mysql.data.mysql client. Then next, we need to create a connection string. So what this is, I'll go ahead and paste it in. We have the IP address, which for us it's 127.0.0.1 for testing. The username we used to curate the database with, like that little profile you made. So mine being Cody. And then the password, which I'm leaving blank for now, because I made a class over here called ignore me just for this. So I'm going to go ahead and get my password real quick. So the string password so mine's going to be password equals like that. So that way I'm including my password that I just have hidden from the video. Then we have database. Now what database is going to equal is this here. So world underscore at underscore war underscore data. So we're going to do world underscore at underscore war underscore data, like so. Now let's store this into a string. So string connection string equals that. So now we need to create the SQL connection and open it. So what we're going to do is create a SQL client. So my SQL connection, SQL connection, send again, equals new my SQL connection. Then if we scroll down, we will see the second constructor takes in a connection string. So we're going to send in our connection string like so. And then we're going to wrap this in a try catch block. So try catch exception E. And inside a try, we're going to try to open the connection. So SQL connection dot open. Once that's done, we need to set us up to take parameters and stuff like that. So to do that, we're going to create a command, and the command is going to be of a type stored procedure. So that way we can call our procedure. So we're going to do my SQL command equals new my SQL command. Just going to leave it. Then command dot command type equals command type. So server.data.command type dot stored procedure. But we need to pass in the parameter for our procedure. So ours is add server entry. So we're going to do add server entry, like so. So now that we have the command set, what we're going to do is command dot parameters dot add with value. Then we have the parameter name and then the value. So for example, we look at our procedure. These are our parameters. So we would want to enter in underscore server ID, underscore IP address, and so on for the remainder of these parameters. So I'm going to click that to view these parameters here and go on through it. So underscore server name or ID, then the value, I'm just going to give it a default of 5. Or actually, yeah, 5, just so it's different than the one that's already up. I want to paste this 3, 4, 5, 6 times. Then it's underscore IP address. And I want to pass in 107 dot blah, 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 just as a test. Then underscore server name, my server name, map name, and current and max players. Do 1, or let's do this 5 and 50, for example. All right, so after that's done, we need to execute it. I forgot a quote. So now we do command dot execute non-query. Then what we want to do is we want to take our connection and close it. So SQL connection dot close. Now we can go ahead and build and test. So let's go ahead and run it. Go to the database, server data, hit refresh, make sure nothing's there. Oh wait, I just realized I forgot to call it. So inside of our values controller, in get, because that's where I'm going to do it, we already created the class object here, data. So I'm just going to move it down. Then I want to do data dot test. Just going to call it. So that way our function should run. And now let's give it a try. So we're going to go ahead and run the get. So we're going to do /API /values / any number 2, 3, 4, whatever, and press enter. Should be met with this little screen here, and we go back to our database and hit refresh. Right, nothing's there, so I made a mistake. So I've done this actually in the past before I ended up having to go through and completely rewrite the videos. Remake the videos. So let me just double check. It's for the MySQL command. It's the procedure name and then the connection. So let's fix that. So procedure name, then the connection. So SQL connection. And now let's give it a try. So let's go to the page to run the get and refresh. And here we now have our new entry. It contains the random parameters that we passed in, like so. So we are good to go, and we can even do, just out of curiosity, might as well just test it from do a big old integer. And this is a test, and run it. And we're going to just do it from Postman, even though the results should be the exact same. But I want to go ahead and copy this URL, go to Postman, doesn't really matter, and just hit, or go to get and just hit send. All right, it sent it. Not sure why it returned all that though. Oh wait, oh, that's why I have it set to return the server data type. I didn't realize that, but that doesn't matter. Now when I go to refresh, we have our latest entry. So that means we are in fact sending the data through our web API and into the database successfully, and that's what we want. So I'm going to go ahead and delete these rows, hit apply, clear them out, and I'd say we're at a very good point. So now we can just go ahead and start creating our database interface class. So I'll see you then.